Hey everyone, Cameron Tait here for Outdoor Canada's Wild Cuisine. So today we're talking burgers, and really anyone can make a burger, but the main question is what makes a burger really good and really tasty? And it's all about balancing your main protein with your fat and all your flavorings and maybe a little bit of your garnishes. So we're going to talk about this. Let's get cooking. So this recipe is going to be a venison burger, and it's going to have a sour cherry relish, sour cherry tomato relish, and we're going to have a smoked cheddar cheese. So we've got some body, we've got some sweetness, and we've got some a little bit of sour with a nice pickle, and it's got all of the flavors that you need for a super simple burger. So I get asked all the time, what is a good type of meat to use for a burger? And you can use any kind of meat, a venison, elk, pork, whatever. But if you use something from, the shoulder, chuck, neck, or hip, it has what's called myoglobin. And myoglobin is natural fat in an exercise muscle. It's tough. But really, once you grind it up, it has that natural, really good flavor. So if you balance that with an additional fat of a 25%, you're well on your way to making a really great burger, because fat means tenderness. And because when it melts, all the fat will sort of melt in the meat, and it makes it really, really tender. All right, so you can get your butcher, to kind of grind your venison meat for you. You can even ask him to put in some extra fat, to kind of have that 75-25. I use this KitchenAid mixer, and it's got just a really simple grinder because I'm not doing a ton of meat. So there are different plates, and this one here is a medium plate, and I've got the coarse on. So this is called progressive grinding. So if I want to put my big chunks through first, I'll put it through the large hole plate, and then I'll use a medium size, and you don't need to go that one step further. It just sort of breaks down the meat and it makes it tender. So I'm just going to dice this up, and what I did for this recipe is kept the measurements really simple. So I did it in cups. Not a lot of people have measuring scales to measure properly. So this one is, once it's ground, basically 3 cups of the venison and then 1 cup of the pork fat, so 75-25. So I'm going to put this on about a medium speed, and what I'm going to do is just sort of alternate a little bit between the venison and the pork. You want to keep this really cold, because this is how people get sick, is if you've got the meat at room temperature, and it builds a lot of heat into the grinder, and that builds bacteria. Okay, let's get going. All right, let's make these burgers. We've got our 3 cups venison, 1 cup of our pork fat, and we're going to add our breadcrumbs. And if it needs a little bit more breadcrumbs, absolutely put it in. If it's a little bit too wet. And we've got ketchup and parsley and chipotle pepper, a little bit of kick, and some paprika for a nice smoky flavor. And Lea & Perrins, that always is good in burgers, and the egg as a binder. And a nice pinch of kosher salt. And black pepper. And we're going to mix it up. And this makes 5 really healthy burgers, because I did it for 5 because I think that everyone's going to be fighting over that last 5th burger if there's only 4 people. So we're going to mix this well, and we're going to form these into patties, get them in the fridge, and then we're going to make the relish. So while the burgers are resting in the fridge, we're going to make a relish. And a relish is something that is a balance between, vinegar and sugar and some acid and some flavorings, and it goes so well with the venison because we've got these are red pitted sour cherries, and it has a really great body. So we've got the juice and the cherries themselves, and we've got sugar and garlic and a really nice balsamic vinegar. Gives it tons of depth. And we add our seasonings and our tomatoes. So really all we need to do is we cook this down until it's almost called au sec, and au sec is until nearly dry. And then once it's that way, we're going to put it into this little mini shop, and we're going to puree it, and it's almost like a paste in a way. So that's how you make the relish. All right, look at these patties. Nice, thick, and juicy. So get your barbecue, set it on high. Put a little bit of oil on your patties and put them on the barbecue. Do not close the lid on them. They will overcook instantly. You can cook them to about 165 degrees. In this recipe, we've got smoked cheddar, we've got dill pickles and onions and stuff like that. Garnish however you want. But then top it with that sour cherry relish. It is amazing. Thanks for watching. Happy cooking.